On June 9, 2003, a document was quietly released from the shadows of government secrecy. It did not speak of spies or weapons in the way one might expect. Instead, it spoke of consciousness. It spoke of energy. It spoke of the very nature of our reality. Dated June 9, 1983, the report, titled Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process, was authored by a U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel named Wayne M. McDonnell. It was a formal military analysis, yet its contents read like a script from a strange and profound science fiction film. The document was an exploration, an attempt to understand something far outside the normal bounds of military intelligence. The central claim of the report is staggering. It suggests that the solid world around us, the chairs we sit in, the ground beneath our feet, our very bodies, may not be solid at all. The report was not a philosophical treatise. It was a serious investigation undertaken by the Central Intelligence Agency into the ultimate nature of existence itself. The document begins not with grand pronouncements, but with a careful, step-by-step breakdown of how a human being might perceive this holographic reality. It presents a method, a technique. It refers to this technique as the gateway process. This process, the report explains, is designed to alter consciousness in a controlled way. It aims to guide an individual to a state where the mind can perceive the universe not as a collection of separate objects, but as an unbroken field of vibrating energy. The implications were, and remain, immense. The CIA was not just studying an idea, it was studying a potential doorway. The declassification of this file 2 decades after its creation opened a floodgate of questions. To understand why the CIA would fund research into holographic universes and out-of-body experiences, one must return to the era in which the report was written. The 70s and 1980s. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense standoff, a battle of ideology, technology, intelligence. Both sides sought any advantage they could find, no matter how unconventional. It was a time of deep paranoia and suspicion, where even the most outlandish rumors were investigated with the utmost seriousness. The fear was not just of nuclear war, but of a war fought on unseen fronts. Intelligence reports began to filter into the West. These reports spoke of a new and unsettling area of Soviet research. They described programs dedicated to psychotronics, parapsychology. The stories suggested that the Soviets were training individuals to become psychic spies. These agents, it was feared, could use abilities like remote viewing to see inside classified U.S. military bases. They could read the minds of generals and politicians from thousands of miles away. They could potentially even influence events through the power of thought alone. The threat was asymmetrical, strange, terrifyingly difficult to defend against. This fear of a psychic gap spurred the CIA and other U.S. defense agencies into action. If the Soviets were developing psychic weapons, the United States could not afford to be left behind. This led to the creation of a series of highly classified and often bizarre research programs. Projects like Stargate explored remote viewing, testing individuals who claimed they could perceive distant locations with their minds. The Gateway Report was a product of this climate. It was an attempt to understand the underlying mechanics of such phenomena and to see if they could be replicated and controlled. The CIA was not seeking spiritual enlightenment. It was seeking a tool. The agency's interest in the Monroe Institute was pragmatic. If Robert Monroe had developed a technique that could reliably induce altered states of consciousness, then that technique could potentially be trained. It could be turned into a methodology for intelligence gathering. The calm scientific tone of the Gateway Report masks a sense of urgency. It is the sound of a nation scrambling to understand a new and invisible battlefield. A battlefield where the weapons were not bombs or bullets, but the untapped potential of the human mind itself. At the core of the Gateway process is a specific technology developed by Robert Monroe, Hemi-Sync. The name is short for hemisphere synchronization. The concept, as explained in the report, is both simple and deeply strange. The human brain is composed of 2 hemispheres, a left and a right side. Usually they operate at slightly different frequencies, their electrical patterns in a constant state of flux. Hemi-Sync uses sound to gently guide these two hemispheres into a state of coherence where they begin to vibrate at the same frequency. This synchronization, the report argues, is the key to unlocking extraordinary states of consciousness. The method is surprisingly straightforward. A person listens to specific audio frequencies through stereo headphones. A different tone is played into each ear. For example, a 100 Hz tone in the left ear and a 104 Hz tone in the right. The brain, in its attempt to make sense of this conflicting information, perceives a third, phantom beat, at the difference between the two frequencies. In this case, it would be a 4 Hz beat. This is known as a binaural beat. This new frequency is not an external sound. It is created entirely inside the listener's mind, causing the brain's own electrical patterns to fall into step with it. Different frequencies of brain waves are associated with different states of mind. Beta waves, for instance, are associated with normal waking consciousness, alertness, and concentration. Alpha waves are linked to states of light relaxation and meditation. Theta waves are present during deep meditation and light sleep, often accompanied by vivid imagery. Delta waves are the slowest, associated with deep, dreamless sleep. Hemi-Sync uses binaural beats to guide the listener's brain into these different states at will. It is a way of tuning the mind, like tuning a radio to a specific station, to access different levels of awareness. The Gateway Report treats this process not as a mystery, but as a matter of applied neuroscience. It describes the brain as an electrical system that can be influenced and guided. By inducing a state of hemisphere synchronization, the report claims the brain becomes a more powerful and coherent processor of information. Its signal becomes stronger, and its noise becomes weaker. In this heightened state, the report suggests the mind can begin to perceive information that is normally filtered out by the five senses. It can start to tune into the deeper, holographic reality that lies beneath the surface of the physical world. The Gateway Report takes its most radical turn when it moves from the science of the brain to the science of the universe. It proposes a model of reality that challenges our most basic assumptions about the world. Drawing on concepts from quantum physics, the report argues that what we perceive as solid matter is an illusion. It states that, at the subatomic level, there are no things. There are only patterns of energy. Electrons are not tiny solid balls. Protons are not tiny solid balls. Neutrons are not tiny solid balls. They are concentrated points of vibration in a vast, interconnected field of energy that makes up the entire universe. The report uses the metaphor of a hologram to explain this concept. A hologram is a three-dimensional image created from a two-dimensional photographic plate. Every part of the plate contains information about the whole image. If you cut the plate in half, both halves can still be used to project the entire picture. The universe, the report suggests, operates on a similar principle. Every point in space and time contains the pattern of the whole. This whole is referred to as the absolute or the torus, a continuously flowing, self-referential field of energy from which all of reality emerges. According to this model, our physical world is a projection from this deeper dimension of reality. Matter is simply energy that has been slowed down and concentrated into a specific, complex, and stable vibratory pattern. Our consciousness, the report continues, is also a part of this universal energy field. Our brains are not creators of consciousness. They are receivers. They are complex biological antennas that are tuned to a narrow band of the universal hologram, which we then interpret as physical reality. We are, in essence, experiencing a small slice of a much larger, non-physical whole. This idea leads to a profound conclusion. If matter and consciousness are both made of the same fundamental energy, then they are not separate. The mind is not trapped inside the brain. It is part of the universal field. This is the theoretical basis for the strange phenomena the CIA was investigating. If consciousness is non-local, then it is not bound by the limitations of space and time. It could, in theory, access any part of the universal hologram. It could perceive events in the past. It could perceive events in the future. It could perceive events at a great distance, because on this deeper level, all points in space and time are connected. The Gateway Report is more than a theoretical paper. It is a practical manual. It outlines a series of steps known as focus levels, designed to guide consciousness away from the physical body and into a larger, holographic universe. These are progressive states of awareness, each deeper than the last, achieved through Hemi-Sync audio frequencies, breathing exercises, and mental concentration. A controlled, methodical journey, an escape from the prison of the five senses. The first milestone, Focus 10, state of mind awake, body asleep. Body in deep physical relaxation, like sleep. Mind fully conscious and alert. The foundational state, launching pad for exploration. Instructions: breathe deeply. Listen to Hemi-Sync tones. Affirm you can maintain awareness as the body drifts. Consciously separate mind from bodily sensations. From Focus 10, move to Focus 12, a state of expanded awareness, consciousness not limited by the body. Focus 12, perceive beyond normal senses. The beginning of out-of-body experience. The mind can explore, move through walls, travel to distant locations. Treat it as a trainable skill, not fantasy. Result of attuning to a broader frequency in the universal hologram. Deeper levels. Focus 15, Focus 21, and beyond. States that transcend time and space. Explore the past. Perceive probable futures. Communicate with other intelligences in the field. Framed as subjective, yet consistent and repeatable. A roadmap to explore reality, beginning with a simple breath and the hum of a sound in your ears. The declassification of the Gateway Report in 2003 did not lead to a revolution in science or defense. It did not result in a new generation of psychic spies. Instead, the document settled into a strange and uneasy place. Government secrecy, quantum physics, spiritual mystery. It remains an official artifact, a testament to a time when the world's most powerful intelligence agency seriously contemplated the idea that reality is a shared dream. The report changed nothing, and yet it changed everything, by leaving the door to these questions permanently ajar. The tension at the heart of the document is between its methodical, scientific language and the extraordinary nature of its claims. It is a military report that speaks of universal love and the infinity of creation. It is a government file that reads like a sacred text. This duality is what makes it so endlessly fascinating and unsettling. Did the CIA truly believe this? Or was it merely an intellectual exercise, a thorough investigation of an enemy's potential beliefs? The document provides no easy answer, leaving the reader to sit with the ambiguity. It is a guide, but a guide without a final judgment. Ultimately, the report forces us to confront a fundamental question: what is real? It suggests that the world we trust, the solid and predictable reality of our daily lives, might be a thin veil. Beneath that veil, it proposes, lies a universe that is far stranger, more interconnected and more mysterious than we can imagine. It suggests that the most powerful tool for exploring this universe is not a telescope or a microscope, but our own consciousness. The report offers no proof. It offers only a possibility, a path laid out in careful, deliberate steps. The story ends where it began, with a file, a question, and an unnerving silence. The blacked-out lines in the report are perhaps the most telling part. They represent what is still unknown, what is still considered too sensitive to reveal.